Come make home decor changes with me. I would say what kind of style it is, but I don't even know what to call my style. Basically, I have this kind of odd area between my living room and my dining room and my kitchen. In the past, I've had my record player here. I have had this window that I put this quote on, and then all of my records that I want to display are hung here as well. Nothing sits there right now, and I want to put a bar cart right there, so the bottom two records may have to go away. And since the Christmas tree is currently up in front of the window, I have moved my record player off to the right. I actually kind of like it there. So for the sake of this video, pretend those two bottom records aren't there. At one time, I loved that quote. I thought it went really well with the music and the records. The ellipsis has always kind of bothered me, but we love music and we love dancing, so it always felt right for our family. But that was 5 years ago, and I feel like word signs are kind of on their way out, so I had this idea. I bought these brass hooks because you guys know I'm a fan of a good hook. I have this IKEA towel rod on the end of my island I use for decor, and I even have this coat rack that I got from Target that I use for decor as well. It helps hanging smaller items that really just bring it all together. So I had this idea of hanging these hooks on the top of the frame and then peeling the words off. The frame would be really cute to be able to just kind of frame the decor that I'm putting on there. Eventually we could make it bar themed and could go more with the bar cart. But I got antsy and I wanted to do it right now. This quote was literally just Cricut vinyl put on here, so once I was able to start the peel, it came off pretty easily. A little tedious though. So I asked my husband very nicely if he would do that and then put the hooks on while I got some items ready. If you were here last Christmas, you may remember that I bought some gold frames and I like to put chains on them and hang them. So I framed this Thanksgiving card and also an old Starbuck doilies cover. Since I still have everything decorated for fall, I thought these pieces were so great. Last year I had thrifted these gold chains. They were just cheap necklaces and I bought them for like $1 or $2, and then I'm going to use the chains to put on the frame. Like I said, I did do this last year, so I kind of had an idea of how I was going to go about it. With this bigger linked chain, I'm able just to open those and then squeeze them around the ball that is on the bottom of the frame. If you guys remember when I thrifted that frame, I was very excited that it had those little feet. And again, this is what worked last time, so I tried it again this time, and I quickly realized that these little feet are bigger than the ones last time, so I just can't close them around there tight enough to feel comfortable with hanging it. It does have glass in it after all. So I decided to go with the other method that I use for smaller frames without feet, and that is just to slide them in the side and then pinch the frame onto the chain. You could even put some glue on there if you wanted to be very, very thorough, but I might switch this out around Christmas time. So right now I'm just going to pinch it in there and I feel pretty good about it. It doesn't ruin the chain, it doesn't ruin the frame, and so I can easily switch them out in the future. So I did the big one and then now the smaller one next. You can see how much slack there is. I just fed it into the side and then I got some needle nose pliers and pinched the metal down on top of it. I just love the way that this looks. I was trying to decide between 3 hooks and 5, and I decided I needed 5 so I could steady the chains a little bit instead of just having it on one hook. They hung out too far and they wobbled too much. So unfortunately, I had to steady them by hanging them over 2 hooks. It's not quite the look I wanted that I had in my mind, but it'll work. I also thrifted this brass container. I put a burlap ribbon on it and one of those little gold rings that I use for Mother's Day, and I thought it worked really well too. I think I need to work with the height differences a little bit more, maybe add a few more pieces, but overall, for very last minute, I thought it looked pretty good. I'm excited to work with this area in the future and the prospect of hanging Christmas items. Maybe like a big wreath would be really cute. I look forward to working with it, hanging different length items, and just finding different items to hang each season. But for my spur of the moment, I thought I did pretty good. What do you guys think?